Can we talk about after Deegan took out Beaumare,
Yes.
the case save? Can we talk about the case
Oh
save?
man, scary stuff. Scary stuff. This is the
He did
first
it so
year.
well.
This is the first year we're starting to see a little bit of like Deegan doesn't really make those kind of mistakes. Um, and I think this is like the first year where Deegan's. I don't think his confidence is rocked, but I think he's more aware that like, oh man, like these guys are getting faster behind me, you know. And I think it. My take on it, which you might disagree, is that it's starting to put just a little bit of the heat, applied to him. Can he handle it all day? For sure. We saw it. He won. But I think these little mistakes that he's making, it's like, I think he's aware that he's got some fast competition now, you know?
Yeah, I think the evolution of a belief can go from like maybe ignorant belief of like I'm the man
Yeah.
to like because it hasn't really been tested yet
Yeah.
to then you get tested a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and then you might have some doubts, you might ask yourself some questions, and then like when
Yeah.
you come out of that, like now we're really got a stable
Yeah.
belief going.
Yeah.
Because you saw like Jet go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Deegan's kind of like maybe starting to go through that or is going through that. But that was a scary situation. So like to explain to those listening what happened, to go triple in that section, you have to see bounce because you need to create as much compression rebound to get that pop as possible.
Yeah.
But right before he got to the transition, he started to slide out. So as he was sliding out, he's not only breaking forward drive because he's breaking traction, but he's losing pop.
Mm-hmm.
So he, instead of going up, now he's going kind of just going to push straight and lawn dart himself through.
Yes.
Which even in a normal rhythm situation where you're just jumping from 3 foot tall to 3 foot tall, still not a good situation to be in, but really bad when you're going from 3 footer to 5 footer.
Yes.
But he did for how quickly that happened. What did he do? He immediately pulls the clutch in. If you watch it back, pulls the clutch in, taps the rear brake, levels that bike out, and just plows into it front tire first. That is the only reason that Deegan saved that. Had he have not tapped the rear brake and lofted the front because he was afraid, he would have ended up in a perfect frame case situation, but it would have been
it
would have created an absolute slingshot. So those watching, I don't care how steep, the steeper, the more important this is, how scary it is, you will be in a better situation if you land front tire first when you're casing a jump. Everything in your brain, even as I'm telling you this, it doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. People are like, front tire first, that doesn't make sense. We've always like either been taught or just instinctively just lean back, loft front end, like if you're going to case something. Right. But
100%.
Thank goodness he didn't. He plowed into it. It still created a little bit of a kick, but he was able to kind of like push through and just bounce his way out. But really good on him, especially it's even worse when you're short and him not being a tall rider. Like he doesn't have the legs to absorb any of that impact. You land a little front end high. If you're a short guy like that, casing a steep 5 footer, you're going to get absolutely pogoed because the seat will hit you in the butt before you know it.
For sure. Yeah. That's not a place you want to be, but he handled it very well, composed himself, and he had that reset where he was like, all right, made a mistake. We're still business as usual. Didn't let it fluster him. He didn't ride over his head afterwards. So that was great.
If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.